All right, well, today is our first record of 2026. We out here for work, um, and I'm out here in West Branch. Not a whole lot to do, but they have a lot of parks, and I thought to myself, you know what? I never been winter hiking. Now, I don't have, you know, winter boots or anything like that. It was kind of the spur of the moment, but we're at this park. It's called Marl Lake. This is the lake right here, nice and frozen. It's huge. It's a beautiful day out. Make sure I fixed it. Electric motors only. Launching for retrieving a gas-powered vessel prohibited by director's order. As you can see, I ain't that courageous to walk on ice, but lake is huge. So this is Marl Lake. It stretches. So anyway, I figured, I've never been hiking in the winter. When you watch it on videos, it looks so cool. So I say, you know what? I got nothing to do. Just sitting in the hotel room. Like I said, a small town area, not a whole lot to do. Why don't we try some winter hiking? That looked like a trail right there. Now I was looking on the map. You got 3 different hiking trails: beginner, intermediate, and more of a harder trail. So we're going for the beginner. I don't have hiking shoes on. I'm not even sure. Okay. Your present location is here at 4. Okay. All right. Park. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is the easier trail. Okay. 2. So we're just gonna go to 1 for 2 to 7 and back around. Said I don't have hiking boots, so not even hiking clothes, compression pants, shorts, long sleeve socks. I got layered up from the top though. I got compression shirt, sauna suit on at the top, hoodie and a coat. And I got these hand warmers that you can get from your pharmacy for like $10. Like the heated gloves. Got my mask on, cover my face and a hat. Hopefully that'll be good enough. It's a beautiful day outside. So it's about 30, what does it say, 32? The sun's out and it's a clear sky. So I know there's parts of north of Michigan that have bears. Those look like doggy tracks right there. I don't think this part of northern Michigan have bears, but I ain't gonna be walking around bumping some tunes, so I'm just gonna keep a good eye open. It's one good thing about Michigan. Not a big wildlife state like others, but man, we got some great lakes. The pine trees, man. There's a lot of pine trees. Oh, that's the sound of that's the wood. That's the tree, I mean. Man, it's just nice out here. Very peaceful. Lights beaming through the trees. That's fire. The greenery that you still see out here, that is beautiful. This is exciting. Yeah, up until today, when I first came to West Branch, Michigan, I was like, dang, first thing I always wonder, where is, if there's a gym. And went to like a small gym. It was $8 a day. And I was doing the math. I'm like, hell, if I go 5 days a week, it's like $45, $46. It's expensive. Here for a month, it's like over $120, over $125 in a month. That's like a high-end fitness center right there. At like almost $200 a month. Except you get like a sauna and free massage chairs, free classes, NBA-sized courts. In this case, this place is just a little tight-knit gym, you know, real weights. Had the type of vibe where, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger will pop up. You know, the capacity is probably like 35 people, and that'd probably be too crowded. The few times I went, I think the most people I've seen was like 10 at a time. The last time I went hiking to my kid years ago to Quantamon Falls, we went hiking. I think it was the first time I let him, we both drank some water from like a filtered hole that was just gushing out. And it was the first time we drank some water from that hole, and it tasted so earthy. And we didn't know what we were doing. We were just being adventurous. And like we had hiking shoes or anything like that. I've always been an outdoor guy. Never went camping when I was younger, but knew there was something I always wanted to try. And did it for the first time. My kid to the KOA out in Mackinac City. And that really jump-started. Well, that was my first time camping. First time I took him camping was KOA. First time I went camping was the music festivals, which is a great introductory to camping, but not your typical camping. I will say that. Definitely recommend it though. If you've never been camping, you know, try the music festival vibes of camping first. It's not the, it won't be the most quietest, peaceful, but if you're looking for pure entertainment, definitely. Man, first time I went camping was Electric Forest. It was a lot to handle. My job involves being isolated a lot of the times, but I was getting sick and tired of it, and I wanted to be around people, and I chose Electric Forest to be the first platform the first environment for me to be around a lot of people because it just looked cool, you know? Now, I'm about 7, 8 years in now of going. Only time the only time I couldn't go was COVID, but other than that, I've gone the past 8 years, and now that I'm getting older, now I'm down to the day pass. I just like to continue the tradition because it still is sweet, but first time I went, it was overwhelming. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of people. Oh man, it was rough. You know, learned to never bring a set-up tent, bring a pop-up tent. You just look cooler, less stressful. But overall, it was a good time, man. So that was my first time going camping. And then I kind of just continued on from there. And then I took my kid to KOA camping, and then he really loved it. And fast forward to this day, we didn't go camping last year, but I'm gonna take them this year. Marl Lake, pretty sure it looks better, obviously, when it's summertime. Love it. We didn't go camping last year. I was busy. Street karaoke was taking up all my time. It's gonna take up even more of my time this year. But he's getting older, and you know, I wanna squeeze in at least one camping trip with him this year, you know, and then, you know, he does a lot of travel with his mom's side of the family, so, you know, me and him could squeeze in maybe like a Christmas trip or something. I always wanted to do that. Never done that before. Christmas trip would be dope. You know, he loves Florida. When he gets older, he wants to move to Florida. He's real big into charter fishing. Who would ever known that the first time I took him fishing, when he was 4 years old, with that little Iron Man fishing rod, knowing that he's not gonna catch anything, on Orchard Lake, who would have known that moment would lead to him? I mean, the kid just loves fishing. I mean, he don't want to do anything else but fish for hours. And it looks like that might be his career path, which I'm definitely pushing him to seek, because at 16, I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was about to graduate high school. And, you know, I felt like that was a little bit of a problem because all my friends knew what they wanted to do, but I didn't. So I never wanted him to go through that. And, you know, I just tell him, like, hey, man, if you love fishing that much, he said he could do it every day. He's one of those all in or all out. And I said, hey, I hope you get a little charter boat. You got that much money. But I'll definitely help you get started, for sure. And let you bump your head and go through everything. Oh, look at that. Got a little bench right here. Ah. We'll sit just for a second and listen. All right, so coming up to our first, technically second map to see what course we're on. So we're at 2. And like I said, the green is an easier trail. The red is a little harder and the blue is the most difficult. So right now, we're kind of on that border. We're at 2, so we're right here. So we're looking to go to, let's see here. We were here, that's where we parked, came here. We kind of want to loop ourselves to 7 and loop ourselves back around and then west and make our way back to where we started. So let's rock and roll. We're gonna stay on the easier path today. We're gonna start looking at some hiking boots. I was looking at some earlier. I saw that they have hiking boots for flat feet for like $150 or so. Well worth it if I want to get deeper into this hiking thing in the winter. I like it. I like hearing the wind. I like feeling the breeze. It's not too cold on you, as long as you bundle up. Bringing in that fresh air. I like looking at the pine trees, especially the ones that still got pine on them. It's a good mix. Okay. Haven't seen not one squirrel or heard any birds. Just my sound of the feet in the snow, the wind breezing through the trees, and the trees are talking here and there, crackling every now and then. Normally when I hear it, I'll stop just to get a good listen, especially with the wind. Just take it all in. Wow. When I was driving through the same area towards the delivery, it made me think it was just like miles of trees like this with a paved road in the middle. I was like, man, this reminds me of, I used to drive through New Mexico. This one part I was heading to, where was I headed? Oh, when I was driving to New Mexico, I was heading to California, but I always take this scenic route through New Mexico where it was just desert and road for hours. I put on some Rufus the Saw, man, and just be jamming, just zoned out, jamming, thinking about life, thinking about being home. I had just started rapping, and I put out what I call was a great album. That's my first album, which is called Period Piece. And I felt like I needed to be home to give it life. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I probably was right where I was, being over the road. It's just that I didn't know as much as I do now about what it takes to get your music out there. And it was just like, I didn't know what it took to get your music out there. I was green at the time. One thing I could think of was, man, I need to get home, get the music out there. I was already, before street karaoke, I was doing something similar with the boombox and just doing my songs. And oh man, this is a hill right here. It's probably where you need that hiking stick. Got a little slant. We're gonna step on the snow part so we don't slide. Oh yeah, that's good on the knees. We're gonna step in other people's footsteps who paved the way. Okay, we got 2 going back, 1 this way. So 6 look like it goes that way. So if we keep, oh, no, I'm sorry. 7, straight ahead, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know how to promote the music. I didn't know where do I go to perform, if I need to go somewhere to perform so people can hear the music, you know. I was finding stuff online, but it wasn't as consistent. You know, now I don't perform the music as much anymore because the street karaoke kind of took off. And, you know, I don't think you should put a cap on age, but I think if you're gonna do music, it takes so much time. And I feel like I've went further since I slowed down on performing. I went further as far as grabbing attention since I slowed down on performing with the street karaoke. But man, I got some magical moments performing. Some magical moments performing in crowds. And oh shoot, oh, man, this trail right here, a little rougher. But this might have been like a bridge or something I'm walking on. But yeah, a lot of magical moments. That was dope. And man, I wish I knew what I know today. And some would say it's never too late. And that's true. You know, one of the quotes that always touched me is that when your time is up and you look back at your life, you never want to go through life saying, I wish I would have. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and the way I started doing music was wild. I was a late bloomer, mid-30s, out in California, Lottie, California to be exact. So every time I see Lottie, California, I'm like, oh, that's where Snoop Dogg get. Lottie Dottie, we likes to party. I'm like, I didn't know that was an actual city. Lottie, California. And it was the first time I seen, you know, a real gang presence, probably since the early 90s. That's what I remember with gangs, but, whoa, hey. But I remember I was doing all these freestyles and, oh shoot, hey, this trail is getting a little, this is where them boots come into play. I done slipped like 4 or 5 times already. But I remember doing all these freestyles over beats just to keep myself entertained. I mean, from Michigan to California, that's over 2,000 miles, you know? It's a lot of driving, you know? On Spotify, I was like top podcast listener, you know? One of Joe Rogan's top listening fans. I listened to so much Joe Rogan at the time, you know? Shout out to Joe Rogan. I mean, I don't listen to it as much, but man, before now the podcasts have really taken off, he was the source. His guest he had on, But yeah, I was doing all these freestyles, and I was posting on Snapchat, and I was talking to a lady friend. Shout out to Casey King. You know, she was right. You know, I come to realize that people are right. It's just that the information is just hitting you too early. And I remember talking to her during COVID, and I was shooting all these Snapchat videos, and she was like, since you're really there, boots on the ground during COVID, you should shoot some videos about what's going on. And I wish I would have listened, because now I'm shooting videos about everything that I do. And I guess I wasn't ready to, you know, post in the public eye like that. So I've always shot videos. I'll just post them on, like, you know, social media platforms. When you start going like beyond that, the YouTubes and whatnot, that's global platforms. So is other social medias, but for that type of format. But she told me that I should, she was like, why don't you try writing? I was like, but I was like, write for what? Snapchat is my diary. And one day, magically, I was freestyling a song, and I got to the shipper, because I truck drive. I got to the shipper, and I was still thinking about that song. And I said, you know what? Let me see if I can write to this song. Let me see if I can write, you know, because I tried to write back in the day. I couldn't sit down long enough. You ever listen to my song Rockstar by What Up Twine? THATUPTWON. My song Rockstar. I simply explained that, well, no, in Rockstar I was saying I started off writing movies, TV scripts, and I couldn't sit long enough. I had all the ideas, but I couldn't sit long enough to put it all on paper. And I would have to listen to, I would listen to like movie soundtracks or movie scores to help my writing. Well, sometimes I listen to the same one and I get bored. But anyway, somehow, back to Casey King, when she said, why don't you try writing? I just heard somebody. Oh, that's a bird. Ah! And this echoed. Anyway, I was I was you know, I decided to write this song, and oops. Oh no, okay, we're on the right track. I was like, damn, I was afraid of this. Okay, there we go. All right, we made it. This is a good walk. I'm really enjoying this with y'all. It's better that I'm enjoying it with y'all though. I got batteries still. Okay, sweet. Okay, we're making our way up, and that'll be how long? That's 2 miles. Okay, I got a little. Listen, from here to here got real bumpy. You know, this looks a little flatter, we'll see, but I'll start to think like, man, I probably should really have those hiking shoes. I'm slipping everywhere. So that'll be our 2 miles, you know. Okay, all right, so let's go to 8, because if we go to 9, marquee connector, I'm not even sure what that means, but trail ends, so it probably gets a little rough down there, but that's a good trail though. All right, let's go. All right, so I sat down, started writing this song, And I wrote the whole song in one sitting. So then I'm like, okay. Well, we got some trails, foot trails right here. And I'm like, okay. Freestyle again. Let me see if I can write another song. And man, I kid you not. Shout out to California, Lottie, California, man. I ended up writing so many songs that day that I was like, dang. And then I thought I was tricking myself. I'm like, man, this is actually really good. Because as artists, and then anything you do that you create, you're always going to be your biggest critic, which you should be, right? Because if you think it's crap and people say it's crap, well, if you think it's crap, you probably won't let people see it. But if you don't think it's crap and people think it's crap, it won't hurt you as much because you believe in it, And so I would try to psych myself. I'd be like, I'm really good at being honest with, my own music. If it's crap, it's crap. But I will say, in Rockstar, the second half of that song, I didn't like. I didn't like it, but I didn't have anything else after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put that out. And when I listen back to it, I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. Very detailed. Oof. Very detailed. And Rockstar was one of my favorite songs. It's the last song I ever shot a music video to. Right across the street from my house. Bought some fireworks from Phantom Fireworks. Good thing it was buy one, get one. I still got a box of torpedoes. I don't know what they were. Still got one box I bought. I think it was buy one, get two free. I used two of them in the music video. Wish I knew the music director name. He's good too. I mean, he's taking his level up in music directing to new heights. Shout out to him. I told him, I was like, man, I think you're one of the best creators ever. Yeah, so, while I was over the road, I was performing those songs from Period Piece. Then I did like little shows here and there. And at that time, I was still partying, kind of hard. I was in that festival lifestyle. I was really enjoying myself, and sometimes I would do a show and be like, man, I don't know how I did that show. That was crazy. But it was great, man. It's just time, Time is what we're up against. That's it. Whoa, this is a funky little trail. Time was my Achilles heel. Did I want, was I okay being 40-something trying to make it in rap? Talking. Oh, my DJI picking that up. I didn't know if I wanted to be 40-something. Man, it's actually cold. I mean, it could be colder for sure, but I didn't want to be 40-something trying to make it in rap, and that's something that I'm not sure, that's something that I think as I talk to y'all right now, something that, I come to terms of that I'm okay with that, you know? I wasn't sure at first. Sometimes I still got 2 albums left, and part of me is like, just put those out and you're done with that chapter. And so that's still that's still in the works, you know? It's just if I want to spend the money. It's not cheap. The mix and mastering guys, stuff like that. I recorded myself, you know, but the mix and mastering is that's the sauce. But yeah, listen to my song still to this day. Love it. Always brings me back to that moment, and I feel like because I have a great ear for beats, which is how I kind of pivoted to DJing with the street karaoke. It's like those songs, they're all period pieces. They're sounds that will resonate 10, 20 years later. You know, some people, you hear some songs, man, just because of the sound alone, the sound doesn't resonate today. But there's some songs out there, because they have the right beats, that will always resonate forever. You know? Look at that. That sound really beaming. Woo! It's shining on your boy right now. All right. I think we're about halfway there. Okay. All right. There's a map, a guide right here. South Higgins Lake. Gotta be about right here in the middle. Let's keep going. All right. I think we made it. Yes, sir. Marl like. Nice. We did it, world. 2 miles. That was probably I ain't walked in a long time. That was, honestly, that was one of the greatest walks I've taken in a long time. I normally don't walk outside. I like to run. I like to get what I'm trying to get out the way, move on to the next thing. But it felt great this felt fantastic. Thanks, world, for walking with me. Definitely made it a little bit more adventurous, easier, and we'll have to figure out a creative way to do it again, or just do it again in general. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll get the Sherpas to come with us next time.